Alright, you guys, I am back and pull the mic closer to me so y'all can hear me. I know it's been a while since I've done something Yu-Gi-Oh related that wasn't just a tier list on the channel. By the way, if you're watching this and I still haven't uploaded the tier list, that is because I am waiting for the ban list to drop or for the new pack to drop, whichever happens first, so I can kind of get a feel for the meta. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. We got one Cerule Guru of Dark World. I see a lot of people running this at 2. I personally only like 1. I think 2 is overkill, and I think 2 is a little bit bricky. If this card's discarded, card to the graveyard by card effect, special summon it to your opponent's field in defense position. If it was special summoned by the effect of a Dark World card, your opponent discards 1 card. So anytime you special list from a Dark World card, you can make your opponent discard 1 card. You can summon it to your side of the field or your opponent's, in the case of some of the other monsters' effects. So this dude is pretty useful. You can neg your opponent 1, you can neg yourself 1 to go off with your Dark World effects. Next we have 3 Brow Huntsman of the Dark World. I see some people run this at 2. I have no idea why you would run this at 2. This is equivalent to basically having 3 Upstart Goblins in your deck with the potential to draw you another card. So if this card is discarded to the graveyard by card effect, draw 1 card, or if it was discarded to the graveyard by your opponent's card effects, draw 2 cards instead. So 3 of this guy's absolutely necessary. Next we have 2 Danger Jackalope. I am running a smaller Danger package in this. I feel like Jackalope is probably one of the better cards in it as well. You can reveal this card in your hand. Your opponent randomly chooses 1 card from your entire hand. Then you discard the chosen card. Then if the chosen card was not Danger Jackalope, special summon 1 Danger Jackalope from your hand. And if you do, draw 1 card. If this card is discarded, you can special summon 1 Danger monster from your deck in defense position, except Danger Jackalope. So that is really cool, because some of the Danger cards got booties, like Danger Nessie, and you can sit on that 2800 defense. You could also beam out Mothman as level 4, and then XYZ with Brow into number 60. So Jackalope has a lot of playability. And it's also a dark monster, which makes it targets for Lure as well. So if you don't need it, you can just draw 2 with Lure and banish it. Next we got Snow on Light of the Dark World. If this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, if it was discarded to your hand, this is a weird effect. I always do a double take when reading this. So if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, and then after that, it was problem solving card text. If it was discarded from your hand to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 Dark World monster in your opponent's graveyard. Semicolon, and then the second effect that happens, even if you discard it by your own card effect, is add 1 Dark World card from your deck to your hand, then special summon that target if any in defense position. Oh no, that's also... So, basically you can target... God, the effect's confusing. You can add a Dark World card from your deck to your hand, but if it was discarded by an opponent's card effect, you get to special summon the target that you picked in their graveyard in defense position. That is such a convoluted and weirdly worded effect for a structure deck card. I think it was a structure deck card. If not, someone comment down below what set it was in and how I missed that. Next we got Danger Chupacabra. I like Danger Chupacabra. You can reveal in your hand. Your opponent randomly chooses 1 card from your entire hand. Then you discard the chosen card. Pretty much all the Dangers do that. Then, if the discarded card was not Danger Chupacabra, special summon Danger Chupacabra from your hand, draw 1 card. If this card is discarded, you can target 1 Danger monster in your graveyard except Chupacabra, special summon it. You can only use this effect to Danger Chupacabra once per turn. Next, we got Danger Mothman. You can reveal this card in your hand. Your opponent randomly chooses 1 card from your entire hand. You can discard the chosen card. If the card was not Mothman, special summon him, draw the card. If the card you discarded was Mothman, then it has the effect of Dark World Dealings. Both players draw a card, then discard a card. So either way, you win with Mothman. I see some people run 3, but I prefer 2 because the maximum times you could basically resolve his effect for the drawn card is 1. So if you do that and draw to Mothman, it's not super useful. So having two kind of helps with that. Next we have Genta, Gateman of the Dark World. This guy is amazing. He's a really good new addition to Dark Worlds. You can only special summon Genta, Gateman of Dark World once per turn, period, by any way, including his own effect. So once per turn, you can discard this card to the graveyard, add the Gates of Dark World from your deck to your hand. Then if this card's banished and you control a Dark World card, you can special summon this card. That's good because basically you can discard it, add Gates, play Gates, banish him, discard a card from your hand, and then special summon him. So he is just good all around. Definitely want 3 copies. Next we have Salamander Catalyzer. You can reveal this card and 1 fiend monster in your hand, special summon one of them and discard the other. So this effect, before we finish reading his effect, we're going to put pause on this. This effect is great. This effect is great because you can get yourself another level forward to the field to XYZ with, or even better, you can get yourself any of your Dark World cards triggered and a free level forward to the field. So, pretty great. It's just something that lets you pick and choose, and it's really nice. Next, we have 1 gold Wooloo of Dark World. I don't see a lot of people run this guy. I feel like he's underrated. If he's discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon to the field, but if he was discarded to the graveyard from your hand by your opponent's card effect, you can target up to 2 cards your opponent controls, special summon gold, and then destroy them. So that effect is just really good. He is basically just a worse, in terms of attack, like a weaker stat version of Lucent. He does have some defense, but that 100 less attack just makes him really wimpy. He's also level 5, which only running one of them doesn't really grant us any XYZ options. Next we got Lucent of Dark World, and so if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, special summon it. But if it was discarded from your hand to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can also special summon 1 fiend monster from your deck to either field. So there's the special summon from deck effect. Next we got 2 Nessie. Nessie with that 2800 defense is always good. You can reveal this card in your hand. Your opponent randomly chooses 1 card. You discard the chosen card. If it's not Nessie, you summon Nessie, draw the card. If it is Nessie, you can add 1 danger card from your deck to your hand. Any danger card. So no matter what, Nessie is going to get you at least 1 thing. You can only use this effect of Danger Nessie once per turn. Next we have 2 Grapha, the Dragon of the Dark World. You can recycle it enough to where you don't need to run 3. I see a lot of lists run 3. You don't need 3. 2 is enough. Also, the fact that you can return Rainbow, this dude, with Grapha is really great. The fact that Grapha is level 8 for overlays is insanely good as well. 1 danger Bigfoot, 1 danger Thunderbird. So Bigfoot's effect is, he has the first danger effect, of course, to discard. If it's not him, summon him, draw 1. But his effect is if he's discarded, you get to target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and destroy it. You can only use this effect of Danger Bigfoot once per turn. And Thunderbird is the same thing, except you can target 1 set card your opponent controls. So anyway, back to Grapha real quick. So you can special summon this card from your graveyard by returning 1 Dark World monster you control to the hand, except Grapha. If this card is discarded to the graveyard by card effect, target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy that target. Then if it was discarded from your hand to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, look at a random card in your opponent's hand. If it's a monster, special summon it to your field. That's messed up my opponent several times. It's been really funny. Oops, we already read over Bigfoot. Next we have Rainbow. So you can special summon this card from your graveyard by returning 1 level 7 or lower Dark World monster you control in the hand. Sometimes I'll return Grapha, so I can then discard Grapha, get the effect, destroy something, then return Rainbow to my hand for Grapha, and then discard a card somehow, use the Rainbow effect, and put him in the graveyard, and then return Grapha back to hand for Rainbow, and rinse repeat. Really, really convenient effect. But if this card was discarded to the graveyard by card effect, you can add 1 level 5 or higher Dark World monster from your deck to your hand, which means you can add Grapha. You can, except for him, of course. You can add Grapha. You can add Lucent. You can add Gold. It's just well, no, actually you can't. Why am I saying that? You can add Grapha. You basically just add Grapha, level 7 or higher. The uh or lower. God. Someone comment down below the amount of errors I've made in this deck profile for a deck I got masters with last season. Come on. Um but yeah, any level 7 or lower. So basically any Dark World in your deck you can add. Uh and if he was discarded by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Dark World monster from your deck or graveyard to either field. And then next we have Diabolica, the Dragonic General. This card's okay. You can put something else in and besides this card if you feel like you don't really need it. I do like having it, so I run it personally. If you're a Fiend monster, accept Diabolica sent to your graveyard by card effect. You can special summon this card from your graveyard if it was there when the monster was sent, or hand, even if not, but banish it when it leaves the field. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can target one Fiend monster, except Diabolica, add it to your hand. You can only use one Diabolica effect per turn, only once that turn. Card's great. It's just a good utility card. One card destruction. If you know you're playing against tier, just make Dweller, then activate card destruction. I know that this can help your opponent sometimes, but more often than not, it's been the game winner for me. Both players can discard as many cards as possible from their hands that draw the same number of cards they discarded. Card's great. And if you don't want to discard a spell, you can just set it. It's a regular spell, not a quick play. You can activate it the turn you set it. So yeah, 2 Dark World dealings. Each player draws a card, then discards a card. 2 Allure of Darkness. Draw 2 cards. Banish Dark Monster from your hand. If you do not have any in your hand, send your entire hand to the graveyard. 3 Gates the Dark World. All Fiend monsters gain 300 attack defense. That includes your opponent's board. Once per turn, you can banish a Fiend monster from your graveyard, discard a Fiend monster, draw 1 card. 1 Dark World Archives. During your main phase, you can discard 1 Dark World monster. If you do, Dark World monsters you control gain attack equal to the level of the discarded monster had in the hand times 100 until the end of the turn. If a monster whose original type is Fiend type is discarded from your hand by the effect of a Dark World card or an opponent's card effect, even during the damage step, you can discard 1 card, then draw 2 cards. You can only use each effect of Dark World Archives once per turn. That draw 2 is awesome. I'm just going to say that right now. 2 Dark World Accession. During the main phase, fusion summon 1 Fiend monster from your extra deck by banishing monsters mentioned on it from your field or graveyard. If fusion summoning a Dark World monster this way, you can also discard cards as material. That's right. You can get a destroy and a search effect off that with these 2 guys if you really want to. So that's pretty sweet. If this card's in your graveyard, you can discard 1 Dark World monster and then add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Dark World Ascension once per turn. So, kind of crazy. Next we have 1 Skill Drain. This is just the big middle finger to decks that basically need effects on the board. All your dudes activate in hand, or like engrave, pretty much. So you can just say, ha 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 ha, no, 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 to anything that needs skill effects. Next we have Grapha, Dragon Overlord of the Dark World. When your opponent activates a monster effect or a normal spell or a trap card, while you have a card or cards in your hand, you can, a quick effect, that card's activated effect becomes your opponent discards 1 card. So you get to choose what you discard as well. You can only use this effect of Grapha Overlord, Dragon Overlord of the Dark World once per turn. If this fusion summoned card in its owner control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 Grapha Dragon one Dragon Lord of Dark World that is banished or in your graveyard. Each player with a hand then discards 1 card. So, decent effect. Next we have 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 number 60. So number 60 is great because you can skip your next draw phase, draw 2 cards for detaching 1 material, and then discard a card. This guy's awesome. Sometimes people also use the second effect, which it's very, very rare in this deck to use the second effect. Skip your next main phase by detaching 1, special summon 1 monster from your graveyard in defense position. You're going to be in a really hard spot if you're doing that. The last one is skip the battle phase of your next turn, double the attack of 1 monster you control until the end of this turn. That one comes up occasionally. Next, we have Coach King Giant Trainer. Why am I running this card? Because this card is awesome. I've had to go first several times with Dark Worlds and not got the setup I wanted. This card has let me get that setup and do damage to my opponent. It is 3 level 8 monsters. You can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, draw 1 card, and then if it's a monster, inflict 800 to your opponent. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this effect. You can only use the effect of Coach King Giant Trainer up to thrice per turn, which means you can basically use it 3 times, and it's just great. Next, we have number 23, Lancelot. I actually recommend... I'm just going and craft one of these. I actually recommend you run 1 Lancelot and 1 Hope Harbinger, because 2 Lancelot, not as good. So Lancelot, Dark Knight of the Underworld. This card can attack your opponent directly with as XYZ material. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Once per turn during either player's turn, when a spell or trap card or monster's effect is activated, detach 1 XYZ material from this card and negate the activation. So it's, and by the way, that's a mandatory negate, and that happens when the effect happens. So you have to do it. It doesn't say you can choose when a spell or trap card is activated. And then finally, we have number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. So when your opponent activates a spell, quick effect, you can negate that effect if you do attach this card, attach that card to this card as material. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, detach 1 material from this card, change the attack target from that card to this card, perform damage calculation. If another face-up XYZ monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 face-up XYZ monster you control. It gains attack equal to 1 of those destroyed monsters' original attack. So, just good effects all around. 1 Zeus. 1 Akashic Magician. You're probably saying, why am I running this? Because I can. It's 2 monsters with the same type except tokens. You can only link summon Akashic Magician once per turn. If this card is link summoned, return all monsters this card points to the hand. Once per turn, you can declare 1 card name, activate cards from the top of your deck, equal to the total link rating of link monsters co-linked, and then if you excavate any copies of the prepared card, add them to your hand and send the remaining cards to the graveyard. So, why am I running this? I'm running this card because it does not target, and it bounces back to the deck, so it's really good for getting rid of other link monsters that have the arrow pointing upwards, because you can summon it to that and then bounce it. Sometimes you can even bounce your own stuff, but it really depends. But this card is insanely good in this deck. 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Dark the Dark Charmer, 1 Apollousa of the Goddess, 1 Underworld Goddess of the Forbidden World, or Closed World, my bad, 1 Muckraker from the Underworld. 2 effect monsters cannot be used as link material the turn it was link summoned. If a monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you contribute 1 Fiend monster instead. You can target 1 Fiend monster in your graveyard except Muckraker from the Underworld, discard 1 card, and if you do, special summon that monster. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Fiend monsters. You can only use this effect of Muckraker from the Underworld once per turn. And that is it for the Dark World deck. Let's see if I have these replays in here, or if okay, I do have them in here. Good. So we're going to go ahead and go down the replays one by one. I'm just going to show you some of the boards the deck can make and explain what it can do. So this is an okay hand. Draw 2, banish the Sherry. I'm gonna go for a setup board and start shenanigans with Brow. Just want to draw as many cards as possible. Alright, and we're just doing things. Gonna play the Grapha. We know that they're playing Emancipator, so we're just gonna make a big negate board. Bam, 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 bam. Bring them out, turn them, Nessie, and then we get another card on the board. And we're going to go to Apollousa because they're playing Emancipator. Next, we're going to do Nessie, get Mothman, 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 and then now we just get to cook because we have all the stuff we need. Back, back, back again. Get all my stuff recycled for free. Oh, that's a fun statistic. 70% usage rate, but over 50% win rate. I'll take it. I hope people are starting to play this deck in Diamond and Master because it's a lot of fun. But yeah, we got the one non-optional negate, a bunch of optional negates, and another optional negate. So we're just cooking at this point. We're still cooking. Give me all my cards, please. My opponent's pretty much knows that they've been it at this point. Like, there ain't nothing they can do. The board could have been a little better on my end, but we got what we needed. So, yeah. You get the W. I suppose if you really are concerned more about negating like effects than spell cards, Lancelot's more useful than Harbinger, but I feel like one Harbinger and one Lancelot's better. Because there are times when I would like to be able to negate spells. So we're playing against Runic. This is going to be a really interesting matchup. And then we find out that it is Runic Plunder Patrol. And now we're just like, well, what are you going to do against this? I've actually never lost to a Plunder deck, so I'm just like, is this finally going to be the time? Because my hand isn't the best. And then I draw Jackalope, and I'm like, okay, I can work with this. So, gates, bam, bam, discard, add, special, return, do the thing again. We're just gonna keep digging. And we feel like we hit pay dirt here. We're gonna set it, and we're gonna Nessie, we're gonna bait out other effects, I think, because I have no idea what that deck even does. Oh yeah, now we just get all the effects. It's Grappa, anyhow. More Plunder Patrol. That's okay though. I don't know why. Oh, they ashed that, not the snow. Yeah, that's smart to ash. Of course. At this point, they know that they're stunned, because I'm stopping their one negati card on board, and I'm going to attack them. And I have a lot of stuff on board, so... The deck is crazy fun, though. Like, you can just put out big boards, negate boards, stall boards, whatever type of boards you want to build, for the most part. Some of the bricky hands, though, they are bricktacular. Okay, there we go. We're just slowly digging, and we really didn't get what we needed. So we're pretty much hoping that they're not going to do much on their first turn. And since they set 2, you're just like, okay, it's probably like Labyrinth. So that's fine. I can start setting up and doing things, and they surrender. So I wonder what they were running. Was it actually Labyrinth? No, it was Branded. Okay, so they just didn't draw good. Why did I keep that replay in? That was kind of like not very entertaining. Oh well, that's my entire career. Not very entertaining, or mildly entertaining. I hope you find me at least mildly entertaining. Okay, some more branded. We're just gonna do things. We're not too worried because I mean it's branded. You just activate skill J. Cool. I'll take a little bit of damage, that's fine. Give me that Mothman effect, man. Give me that moth. Okay. Now we have a live hand. Genta, so useful. A really live hand. Ooh. Beautimus. Beautimus. And of course, you know, that Thunderbird effect. It's like, hey, I'll just draw whatever I want, do whatever I want, resolve all these effects on you. I forgot about skill drain. That was a miss. Okay. I'll know the... Was that all three of them? I think it was. Yeah, my opponent just gives up at that point because they're like, oh, he's cooking. Because after that, I was just like, alright, what can I resolve next? And what's the biggest number board I can set up? They're also probably frustrated my turn took so long. Sorry, guys. And it's Runic. Runic Sprite, ugh. How do I play out with the Sprite board? I recorded this like a week ago, so the video is just really late to come out because I've been just really busy. How do I play out of this board? Oh, okay. That's how I play out of this board. Extremely lucky graphical. Oh man. That's sweet. Okay, I see how I play out of this board now. I just force effects. Neato. Not neato. Man, I was about to just get over that field. That was pretty sweet. I can't believe there's rage quit at that point. Resources. All the card resources. Love it. Dark World can do some amazing loops to just get you where you want to be. Like even this hand that is not very good. Oh, and we're playing into Labyrinth. Okay, their board wasn't that disgusting. For a going first lab board, we got pretty lucky. Oh, sweet. So we're gonna discard that, then we get to draw 2 more. Oh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Draw, add back, draw, add back. And now we're just gonna draw more cards. Oh, so beautiful. And we're gonna get to add, and we got the card destruction. This is just nice at this point. Like, I don't know what my opponent's even gonna be able to do. Oh, I linked it away. That's so funny. That's so funny. I can't believe that. There are other ways I could have done that, but I was like, oh no. Link it away. Alright. I'm gonna call it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the replays. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary and the deck profile. Leave a comment down below if you did. And as always, if you want to help out the channel, go ahead and use the code SirLargeGaming to get 10% off of your W order below. It is one of the best energy drink products that I've tried, and it always gives me the most energy, and it works out to about $1 a scoop, so I like it. And I think you will too if you try it. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.